The Agawam Public Library closed down in September after testing proved that there was mold inside. Now we're taking a look at other libraries in the area.
Specifically, how mold can affect both visitors inside a library and the books that are kept there. Western Mass News reporter Paris Dunford talking with experts to get those answers.
In September, city officials announced the Agawam Public Library will be closed indefinitely. Recent air quality tests showed mold in 4 areas of the building.
Certain areas of the library really were a mess. At that point, I had told the library director, we're going to close this at 5 o'clock today. Normally they close at 9. So we've got to get in here and take a look at what's going on.
The library is now operating out of the senior center, while the city works on making major changes and repairs to both the inside and outside of the library. Changes that will hopefully prevent something like this from happening again.
It's quite an extensive job. I think we're spending about $1.6 million to remediate all these issues that may be related to mold issues.
The newly renovated library is scheduled to open in February. Western Mass News hired Daniel Atkins, mold inspector and founder of Nature's Way, Inc., to test another library in the area. Atkins conducted 2 air quality samples in the Mason Square Library in Springfield, one near the sitting area in the left backside of the building and one near the kids area in the right backside of the building. His test found there was no significant mold growth and he determined no remediation was necessary. We reached out several times to Springfield's library director Molly Fogarty, but she did not return our calls for comment. So what circumstances led to Agawam officials shutting doors to its local library? Staff complained of headaches and feeling unwell, alerting Mayor Sapelli to the issue. Dr. Jonathan Bayuk, an allergist with Allergy and Immunology Associates, says those symptoms are common with mold exposure.
You can have allergic symptoms, and those are pretty classic. So runny eyes, itchy nose, cough, postnasal drip, sinus pressure, sometimes headaches.
He also says some people can experience more severe symptoms than others because they are more allergic to the different species of mold.
If you have the equal exposure, if you're not allergic, the odds are you're not going to feel sick.
The Mayor Sapelli says they were lucky there was no major damage to the books in the Agawam Public Library. Danya Khan is an assistant professor of practice in the School of Library and Information Science at Simmons University. She says mold can be a big risk to libraries, since most books are a prime resource for mold growth.
What mold is doing when it's active is it's essentially eating our collections.
She says once mold makes contact with items in a library, such as books, it can grow very quickly. That makes books and artifacts very fragile, and some are extremely difficult to find and replace. Once mold starts to grow on the collections, it can be extensive to remediate and extremely expensive.
You have to hire a firm to come in and remediate that mold. So usually what your firms will do is they will freeze the materials and then clean them off.
And if a library chooses not to remediate and instead replace the books affected, that can be just as costly.
There's the cost of purchasing the new books, but then there's the staff time to find the books, to order the books, and then to unpack the books and catalog the books and get the books back on the shelf.
Reporting for Western Mass News, I'm Paris Dunford.